Students, past and present, are what any school and university should be all about. Faculty and staff are vital as well, but students are unique in that they will forever fill a role, whether they are current or long graduated. Today we have with us three of our school's alumnus who represents our success stories. School of Computer Engineering is extremely humble and exceptionally proud by their presence here at the session. Our first guest today is Mr. Raymond Wee. Mr. Raymond Wee Kiat Keng is the Deputy Director, Infocom Technology at ITE College East. He graduated from Nanyang Technological University with a Bachelor of Applied Sciences in 2001 and went on to do his Masters of Science in Embedded Systems in 2005. Raymond has held several portfolios over the past 13 years, ranging from teaching, administration, and management of 7 higher NITEC and NITEC courses in the area of Infocom Technology, ICT in the Institute of Technical Education, a post-secondary institution for career technical education in Singapore. He provides academic leadership for ICT courses, lead and direct staff in their career development, and ensures that resources are utilized for the benefit of students learning and the staff. He was the founding president for the School of Computer Engineering Alumni Association, and he was conferred the NTU Alumni Service Award in 2009 for his invaluable contributions to his alma mater. He was also conferred the Efficiency Medal for the National Day Awards in 2010 for his invaluable contributions. Mr. Raymond, please.
I'm not going to talk about ITE, where I'm coming from, but I just thought that I'll share more of myself, my experience, how it has helped me in my current job, as well as in my life. First off, after this, I'm sure all of you would have been equipped with a handphone. Please feel free to take my slide towards the end, which contains some maybe useful information that can help you decide. I'll end off, of course, with 3 actions you may want to take. This is my contact here, in case you have any other queries. I guess it might not be answered fully today. You need a informal question and answer from me. Please feel free to drop me a note. Actually, during my time in 2001, where I graduated, I'm already given opportunities like overseas competition as such. And it continues, and it's even more aggressive and pervasive. I see that what's happening in the school after I graduated in 2001. And of course, the other aspect is very much the social as well as the emotional. That's where I cover the CCA club. That's where you link up, make friends, make contacts, which actually helped me in my current job also, because I know of friends previously in NTU, SCE specifically, who is in the, let's say, WDA, Red Hat Linux, as well as even the Smart Nation Programs Office. I think Prof. T3 mentioned about one of the key initiatives starting this year is very much anything and everything Smart Nation, which I'll share a little bit more on that. So other than the CCA, the connection, the friends, which will give you the care and the support, I thought that is important on top of the academics, the technicality, the projects. This is where I further like to add on. And of course, I'm also a returning customer for SCE by taking the masters, the first batch of embedded system, which Prof. or chair of the school is the programs director. Then, of course, I don't choose that because you're the programs director, but I thought that it add value to create a different value that can let me see a different specialization from a different angle. The specialization of embedded system, which very much is in all your phones. Any electronic device you see here is basically embedded with a system. Right? Small or big, they are all embedded system. So I also found the SCE alumni. With that, garnered a few friends again of common interests, as well as that can contribute back to the school. Next, very much what I'm doing is as this broadly these two areas. On top of the operational aspect, making sure that the students are well taken care of. I also started a cloud computing course in ITE, which about 5 years ago. I can see that what NTU is doing is ahead of the chase, ahead. So Smart Nation, you have everything right there ready for Smart Nation. That's what I see as an alumni today, what was presented to me. So Smart Nation, if you look at it and do a Google search, I think Singapore is one of the few that reports, the programs office that reports direct to the PMO, which emphasize the importance. Which, if I link back, this is where NTU SCE can provide you with the opportunity, with the right resources, with the right lecturer environment, and everything else, ready for this national initiative. Right. And lastly, this is another website which, in my course of work, I've always been into, to look at what is the market out there, what is the market demand in the area of Infocom, IT, ICT. This is one very good website that covers all the various verticals or horizontal. And this is an initiative or a website managed by IDA Singapore. So with that, I'll end my session. There's 3 things you need to do. Number 1, sign up for the course. Number 2, sign up for the course. Number 3, sign up for the course.
Our next guest is one of our most recent graduates, Ms. Alicia Ong. Alicia currently works in Autodesk as a web UI developer, a job which she had already clinched before her graduation. She is the proud valedictorian of the graduating computer engineering batch in 2014. She is also one of the school ambassadors for outreach during her time. During her valedictorian speech, I would like to quote what she had said. 4 years in SCE has definitely been a tough journey. There are lots of labs and projects on top of tutorials. The workload may sound overwhelming, but SCE is a friendly family. You will be able to get help from any one of your peers and professors. And as the saying goes, a man reaps what he sows. The amount of hard work definitely pays off. Working in Autodesk currently has definitely given me the opportunity to put what I have learned to good use. This does not only refer to technical skills, but SCE teaches you a lot more just than that. So to all the freshmen and all the new incoming, all the best. Enjoy university life, work hard and play hard. With that, I'd like to welcome Alicia Ong.
So hi, very good afternoon. Thank you for having me today. I actually don't have any slides for you guys. So my main purpose here today is actually just share about my 4 years in SCE. Since I'm quite new, I've only started working since last year, July. Then a lot of things has been changing, but they are good things. In the 4 years of SCE, right, we actually learned not just all the technical stuff that just now all the profs and other alumni have shared about. So there are the fun elements as well. I was part of all the freshman orientation camp committees, and I was also involved in the OCIP, Overseas CIP. I went to Vietnam, I was the first batch there, and through all these programs, right, you actually learn and grow and develop as a person. So other than that, actually I also like to start with why. People always like to ask me why I choose computer engineering, not even computer science, why engineering, right? Especially like if you start school and you're in computer engineering, you don't see a lot of females around. You really don't. Yeah, so, but the thing is that in CE, you learn both the engineering part as well as the software part. So it's sort of like a double bonus. And right now I'm a web UI developer, right? So actually I'm not doing anything got to do with computer systems. I'm doing more towards the computer science. But that doesn't mean that I'm not doing well in computer science. So I actually clinched this job at Autodesk because I was an intern there. As an intern, I learned about mobile developing. So you see, as a SE student, even though you're doing CE, but you can do a lot of other things like mobile programming as well as other web developing, even though you didn't learn it in school. And then through there, I learned a lot more, and that's why I got my job at Autodesk. Yeah. So other than that, SCE is actually very friendly community. Why I say that is because, like what Rika said just now, the 4 years, to be honest, is really quite tough. Our timetable is pretty packed. So, like, you know, even if you want to find some time for some elective that you're interested in, it might be quite difficult to plan your timetable. But because of this very packed timetable, you actually get to bond a lot with your friends and your peers. And you actually help each other a lot throughout the program. During all the labs, all the tutorials, you enjoy your time together even though you spend a lot of time in labs. And the good thing is the professors are always there to help. Like Prof. Yo sitting in front, we can just knock on her door and say hi and ask her for help. All our professors will be there to guide you along. I didn't sabo you. Yeah. No, but seriously, see, this is how we interact with our professors, you know, it's a very friendly community. And it's not just professors, like even staff, as well as all the lab techs around. So it's a very fun and engaging community, which is really good. So obviously I will stand here and I hope you all join SCE. Like what Raymond said just now, join SCE, join SCE, join SCE. Yeah. So that's all I have for today. Thank you.
Our next guest speaker is a motivated entrepreneur and a startup go-getter at heart. Mr. Chinmay Maladia attended NTU on a SIA NOL scholarship, and he graduated from the School of Computer Engineering in 2012. Chinmay is the managing director of Foodpanda and is a motivated person. He has lived in several number of countries in Europe and North America and worked in a venture capital firm before joining Rocket Internet in Germany, a leading European venture capital incubator known for its great work on online shopping malls such as Lazada and online fashion store Zalora. After a stint at Lazada, he was part of the founding team for the online food catering platform Foodpanda and went on to be the managing director of Foodpanda Singapore. He also started one more market for Foodpanda with the launch of Hong Kong in May 2014. He currently holds the position of Vice President, Business Development in the Global Management Team for Foodpanda, overseeing 40+ markets. Personally, Chinmay orders food from Foodpanda on average of 5 to 6 times a week, and his favorite Foodpanda restaurants include Pizza Express and Nam Ki H Noodle in Hong Kong, whereas Four Fingers and Soup Spoon in Singapore. So with that, can I invite Chinmay to present his version of the talk. Thank you.
It always feels nice when you get free marketing for your company. So if nothing else you take today, A, yes, join NTU, SCE, B, download this app called Foodpanda. It helps you deliver when you have to study very hard. That's the idea. As I hear, I mean, I'm in front of a lot of, let's say, the cream of Singapore who will be joining, NTU, SCE school, moving on. That's great. I think we have already heard a lot about, how NTU is. You all know how great NTU is in terms of the opportunities. I'm just going to share, let's say, some of the experiences I had and things I did, and which I hope will help you make the right choice. Yeah, that's what I can offer. So a lot of people ask me, like when I go to the industry, I've been in a lot of, entrepreneurial events and seminars and sessions. I've presented a lot of topics on online marketing to how e-commerce is changing the world. And again, a lot of people informally will ask me, so what did you do before Foodpanda? And to be honest, I'm still 24. I was in Foodpanda for 3 years. So before Foodpanda, the only thing I did was I was 4 years at NTU. So like it or not, whatever I learned, be it at school, whatever I learned outside the school, that's what made me who I am. Okay, so I'm very honored and blessed that I got the opportunity to come back and share my small story with you, to make sure that hopefully I can create another batch of 100 entrepreneurs that I see in front of me today. Interestingly, I'm currently, what I'm doing now, I'm managing a business. I'm managing an online food delivery platform. So I'm not really programming, I'm not really looking at our servers, but I'm looking at the business in general. But what I want to emphasize today is that, regardless of which industry you go into, be it petroleum, be it e-commerce, be it, teaching, be it, anything, the backbone of every industry is technology. So it's always better that you understand it, that you have an edge over it, than, be a bystander and let somebody else do the magic and you just sit on it. So when I look at, a lot of, my peers, a lot of the different entrepreneurs that are in the industry who come from business backgrounds and finance backgrounds, they're very smart. I'm not, much smarter than me in a lot of ways. But when it comes to understanding, their, voice over IP servers, when it's understanding, the product timelines, the different approaches, I think that's where I can confidently say that I know this better. I can talk, as people say, I can talk the geek talk, but I can also talk business. But I think, in the end of the day, I'm doing a lot of stuff with finance and marketing, which basically I never learned. I mean, I never did. I studied engineering, but things and skills and a lot of courses you can learn gradually. But I think the technical background, the foundation, is something that that you could build over 4 years. That MTU helped me build, and I think that makes you stand out, and that has helped me stand out in a lot of ways. Looking at a lot of different industry players in the market. I mean, NTU, I think, is, as I call it, is a land of opportunities. It's all depends on you. How do you use them? How do you use the limitless options that you have? Basically, it's, in a way, it's a long journey. It's about it has enough research funding. It has enough awesome professors. It has enough alumni, network. It has, smart students around you. So it's all about how do you want to use it, how do you want to leverage on it, or how do you want to create your own story. Yeah. To be honest, I like to talk, so I can continue talking for hours and hours. But I guess after some time you will get bored. So I will share a few elements that a few things that I learned at TU at the School of Engineering, and maybe it's helpful. Yeah. So first and most important, when I was born in New Delhi, India, a very competitive environment. I came to Singapore to pursue my education in SCE in 2008. The first thing I realized when I came to SCE was, back home I was like one of the smartest kids. I was acing the grades. I was like the top-notch student. And when I came to NTU, I go to LT2A. A lot of you will go there, and then I saw that there was basically even more smarter people around me from all the different parts of the world. And then I was like, this is not really working out. I thought I was the best, and now there's these people who are 10 years advanced than me. But that's was in a way a blessing, because that made me push to my limits. Then it made me realize that, okay, if I'm not the best developer, then what else? What else do I do? Do I stand out? So I said, okay, I will be a best package. I can do a lot of different things at the same time. So I joined the SCE club. I was part of a lot of activities. I was part of the sports events. I was part of a lot of debating events, and at the same time I did okay and well at my school. So I think the push factor, it's very, very important, and that's what I saw at NTU, because you're not going to be sitting with average students. That's something you might be doing very well at your JCs and polys, but at NTU, at least in the School of Computer Engineering where I went to, I thought I was very smart, but to be honest, you have the smartest kids around you, the students around you, and it's a very challenging atmosphere, but at the same time you can take it as a very motivating atmosphere. Yeah, so that's how I saw it. And then very important, a lot of these people on the screen that I showed you now never graduated, but they had a big influence at the uni life. Yeah, so that's what I will suggest you to also look for. At the same time, if you look at all of them, they all had a technological background. Yeah, regardless of they read whatever companies and whatever timelines. I think understanding tech always goes back to what you did at uni. Yeah. This is a very simple maths question that I was in my semester 1 I did, but connecting dots back, I think it's a very big lesson that I learned. So basically, if I ask you, what is the probability of getting a 6 when you throw a dice once? Yeah, it's 1/6. But what is the probability of getting a 6 if you get a chance to throw your dice 10 times? Yeah, then the probability is dramatically up high. Yeah, why? Because you get multiple tries. So I think what I saw at NTU is that you have so many different opportunities that you can that you can never stop. You can just keep on trying different things. And I think and having that capability, having that flexibility in terms of managing your courses or managing, your personal life to what you want to do, it gives you the room to play with. Yeah, so I think that was very key. I think that's for a lot of you. I think, I don't know, maybe you are all top-notch students, but in the end of the day, personally, I enjoyed a lot of my courses at NTU, but there were always a few courses that I didn't enjoy and I didn't like. But what I learned at NTU is that, well, you are here, you face it, you have to get a grade, you have to graduate, you have to pass, so you have to also develop your aptitude to not just like things that you like, but also like things that you don't like. Yeah, so I think, I said at least one course a year, but they were maybe a little more, yeah, sometimes. But, I give you a classic example. When I'm managing a business now, I have to do, a lot of stuff with accounting. Accounting basically for me was checking the system. It doesn't grow the business. But to be honest, financial stability of the company is very, very important. So it goes back to my days at NTU. Courses which I didn't enjoy, I have to excel at it. Yeah, and then you have to develop interest in it. And I think that goes a long way. Yeah, it's not just about the happy story about doing things that you like, but also sometimes you have to make some compromises, and it helps you to open few more doors. Yeah. This is basically again going back to the opportunity cycle. Yeah, I mean you can be good at X, Y, Z, but you can do 10 more things to be an expert. We have programs like Eureka. There's the FYP. I think that gives you the capacity or the ability to go really deep into things that you really enjoy. Yeah, so I think becoming an expert, let's say in cybersecurity, or becoming an expert in a lot of different ways and fields, I think that I would really highly recommend you to really go into. It's not just about your grades. It's not just about going at A+. If you ask me now, I graduated 3 years ago, I don't remember any of my grades. Yeah, it's sad because back then I was crying for a B+ to an A, and now I don't really remember what I was scoring. Yeah, so I think it's all about where you go deep, what you put interest, and I think NTU gives you the good, nice platform to build on it. If you want more, you have the best professors who can give you more. If you want even more, you can do 2 Eurekas in the same semester. If you want even more, you can work with a PhD professor. I don't know. Yeah, so there's no limit. It all depends on you. Yeah, and that's I think we already highlighted the mentor program, but I think that's very, very, very important. That's what I learned. I think it's okay to accept that that you don't know things and you can go ask anybody. So I was, to be honest, I asked a lot of help before my examinations. Sometimes the day before my examinations, to my knocking doors at 2 a.m. to my alumni and saying, hey, I don't know this, and please help me out. I went to, I wrote to a lot of, I went to professors who didn't know me, maybe still don't know me, and asked them a lot of life-changing questions. Yeah, just because I wanted to. So I think it gives you a very nice environment of a lot of smart people, be it your alumni, be it your professors, and what you should not shy away is from asking them. Yeah, it's simple humility. Yeah, that's a key lesson that you can learn a long way. Yeah, because I'm still learning, I'm still asking around people, I still reach out to people who have no knowledge about who I am, but a lot of times you see that you learn so many great things, you hear a very great story on a very personal level by just reaching out. And I think that's, and you have all the people that you can reach out to. Yeah, and that's me. Again, I went overseas. I think that's also very interesting. So you just don't always have to be in Singapore, even though as much as you like it or love it. I would also encourage that, at NTU, I had a chance to do GIP, which is I did overseas exchange. I went to France, I worked in a research lab. I realized that I didn't have the aptitude to research because I wanted things very fast, but I at least saw that what is research. Yeah. So, but at the same time, I networked with a lot of people. I saw a lot of, a very different community and how things are done. So I think that's something that also you can easily cherish. And you have all those more connections, and you see gradually how people, travel to different paths, and and it helps the community. Yeah. As I understand, a lot of you are today making the choice of either going to NTU, School of Computing, or maybe NUS, or maybe you have some offers abroad. Being biased, definitely I would recommend you to go to NTU, but that said, in the end of the day, it doesn't really matter. Yeah, what you choose today, what makes sense, what you need to do is a due diligence that A, is this a good school? B, do you think they have some good mentors? And C, all depends on you. Yeah, it's, different people have different ways of looking at different opportunities. Yeah, so how you structure your role, how you see your growth, I think it all depends on you. For me, when I was at NTU, I did my, my internship, I did my IA. I realized that, going to Raffles and wearing a suit and walking in the MRT with a lot of people sounds nice, sounds fun. You have a nice view in Marina Bay. But after 2 months of my internship, I already realized that I didn't want to do that. Yeah. And thanks to NTU, I got a chance to get exposed to, such a good internship. That I saw that, okay, my aptitude is for something that's very fast. I don't want to do a normal typical job, and that's when I went to the startup industry. Yeah, and that's how luckily somehow Foodpanda came to my life, and now I'm here in front of you. And then lastly, and very important, yeah, you need to have fun. Yeah, in the end of the day, it's all about, today is yesterday. When it passes away, it's not going to come back. So, I was briefly sharing before as well. I think the most fun times I had at NTU was actually the late night study sessions at the North Spine. So I think the first picture that you saw in the presentation that basically shows the school. And we have a lot of benches outside where people will stay overnight and study. Yeah, and that I think taught me a very big lesson. Being very competitive. I used to like to kind of not hide but keep things to myself. And and to suddenly open up to a lot of students and be with them, and in terms of going from self-study to collaborative study, I think it changes totally your perspective to a different way. Yeah, so then you feel that you're not really doing things for yourself, you're doing it for the community. For example, let's solve this problem. Oh, we solved it. It's a group thing. Then we go to bigger things. Then you develop even more interest. Then you get more creative. Then you have even more passion to do stuff. So I think and sometimes you have hurdles and that you get stuck and you get bored and you flip. But when you have a strong community around you, I think that you can do it so much more better. So I think that's something that I realized that was very, very important for me. Yeah, it's not about you're never going to be a solo winner. I'm not a solo winner. And neither are many successful entrepreneurs or visionaries that we see in the world who are much more successful than where I am now. Yeah. But what I've learned and realized is it's always about the team. Yeah. Be it your project meetings, be it studying together at the North Spine, be it at your research lab, etc. Yeah. So that's something that's very important, and you have to combine with all the fun. Yeah. And lastly, that's how I've learned my presentation. Again, going back to business. Yeah. Have fun. There's nothing called making the right choice. Make whatever choice you want. It's all about the journey. Enjoy that. And when you're hungry, there's Foodpanda.